But didn't he get hurt?
Yep.
Yeah. Damn. Leanne sold, Cliff sold, Amber sold, Alan, what sold yours?
Oh, go Alan. Go Alan.
Betty. I was trying to remember what it was. It was Betty.
Amber sold, Frank sold, Tom Ratliff sold, Eli sold. That's your Eli?
Yep, the air. Cleaning the air. The husband was allergic to dust. And while we were cleaning the air,
Gwen sold, Steven sold, Gwen sold another one, Shantae sold, Brian, what sold yours?
Just the filth. They loved how I turned that shark and a Kirby. So I just said, yeah.
Jeremy sold, Leanne sold, Jeremy sold.
Who's Kaylee?
I don't have a clue who Kaylee is.
Never seen her. I see her name.
Oh, I know who Kaylee is. Kaylee's a brand new kid. Kaylee is, you remember the old guy that was in the Tuesday meeting? Or the Monday meeting? The Monday meeting?
Which one?
The Monday meeting over here, there was some, which old guy? There's a bunch of old guys there. Smart ass. He was sitting over here on the second row. That's his granddaughter.
Oh.
That's who Kaylee is. Now I think about it, that's who Kaylee is. Now I'm talking about an old man, right?
No.
Tom Ratliff.
Where is he at? I haven't seen him.
Oh, he's probably has enough machines and he's hiding out up in the country. Okay, what do you guys want to work on?
Vac Kill.
I've never seen him.
Okay.
That thing ought to be strong.
Because I asked them.
Where's your talent scout at? What's her name?
Jordan?
Jordan.
Yeah, I texted her. She said, like, yeah, I'll try back there. I called her.
Oh, okay.
She's not in school. I don't know where she is.
We're going to go over the Facebook for these guys. How to get instant sets. What else? What do you have?
Can I see a mini bag again?
A mini bag?
I know how to do it right now. Yours is awesome. That's how I use
If
it.
you can learn anything in Rainbow, if you can learn those two things, even if your demo is off, you will sell Rainbows.
Yeah, no.
Seriously. If you can nail those
I'm
things,
back to
but finesse it and don't be.
Good.
That's one of
I said this one and George's.
We had a guy who was a prosecuting
Okay, sure.
attorney. And I liked it.
How close is George's to mine?
Very close.
That's because she teaches not tape.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because she pulled up the video.
Yeah, she doesn't do the demo. Have you ever seen her do a demo?
No.
She can't. She can't do the demo. The trainer can't do my demo. She teaches all off video. Everything's on video on YouTube. They pull up YouTube and they teach on video.
I can't train my dog.
See, that's why you need to get that in your salesman coach. Because how many times have you done a demo and you're sitting there and it's like, God, I wish Susie was here. Susie needs this meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Susie's
Pretty much
always
every time.
Every time.
You have a Susie? But see now,
Yeah,
but now you've already got it. You
Right.
buy that camera for $125 and just hook it up to a deal, and then just throw it up on a YouTube account that's private.
Right.
And then at night, what you do is you go home and you send it out to all your guys. You can literally be sitting watching their demo and tag that part of the meeting. Let's go, okay, Tay's Vac Kill sucks, so I'll send her the Vac Kill because we've got to split up in each part.
Right.
And that. Okay, Vac Kill. What's wrong with your Vac Kill, Brian?
I don't know.
You want to do yours?
I don't see that.
Yeah.
So where do you want me to start?
There's that.
What do you mean from like,
The highlighter.
there's that, the point to where I just said.
Do it in 3 weeks. How about let the rainbow run for 3 weeks? Would that solve the dust problem?
If I ran your rainbow for 3 weeks, would that solve your dust problem?
No.
Just don't sit down. Don't walk across your floor. But you know, Mr. Jones, that 95% of dust actually all comes from the same source. Some people use it once a day. Some use it every other day. Some use it once a week. Some use it only once a month. You know what it is?
My vacuum cleaner. Yes, your vacuum.
Here it is. All right, cool. So pretend I just plugged it in. Okay. And then I turned it on. What do you smell as it comes out? Is that good? You sure? Turn it on. Let me get the rainbow. Let me just clean out all that filth in the air.
Breathe down.
Okay. So it was a nasty smell. Okay. you're smelling it out of the vacuum, that's what's coming out.
Okay, did you turn it on?
Yeah.
On him?
Uh-huh.
Did you ask him how much he cleaned? Huh?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
I was listening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So after I turned on what you clean your house with, you smelled a lot of dust and nasty stuff out of the air, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So how often do you use it?
Maybe once a week.
Once a week?
I personally use it, yeah.
For about an hour?
I don't think that long.
30 minutes?
30 minutes.
You're being a prosecuting attorney. You're standing up.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're peering down on him.
So if you're smelling it out of the vacuum, that's what's coming out.
And you've got a love affair with that vacuum cleaner. You can't have your head right next to it, Chief. If it's as nasty as you say it is, you don't want it right next to you. Or go lick it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna go home and lay in bed with it.
But what you're smelling is coming out of your vacuum. That's what's coming out of your floor.
Mhm.
Let me show you what the CDC says about your floor. The average person's carpet harbors about 200,000 bacteria. That's per square inch. Now, do you have a 5-second rule or a 10-second rule for little Johnny? So if he drops a cookie, does he have 10 seconds to dust it off and eat it, or 5 seconds to dust it off?
He just picks it up and eats it. He doesn't care.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
Well, if you drop the cookie,
So I'm throwing it away.
it's on the way. Okay. Now, if you drop the cookie on the toilet seat, do you have a 5-second rule or a 10-second rule? Or are you just gonna
I
throw it?
wouldn't have a cookie.
Yeah, I would definitely throw it away and I wouldn't eat it while they're snapping.
Yeah.
Okay, now your 5-second rule needs to be before you said anything about the contamination.
About
Because you're gonna get a different answer.
okay.
Okay, now you got a 5-second rule or 10-second rule? Something gets dropped on the floor. Oh, my kids pick it up and eat it. Well, what's yours? 5. Just make it casual. What's yours? Oh, mine's 5-second. And what about you? You probably don't pick it up and eat it, do you? Okay. Let me tell you what the CDC says about how contaminated our floors are.
How contaminated our floors are. I like that. Okay. So yeah, so you really wouldn't let you eat anything off the toilet seat. You know that your floor is 4,000 times worse than your toilet seat. Skin
So your
cell.
toilets, if you're gonna talk about the toilet seat, you talk about it after you've said it's 4,000 times worse.
Say that one more time.
See, what you're gonna do is, if you're gonna talk about the toilet seat, because you're gonna make them, it's like they can't follow where you're coming from. Does that make sense? That thought process is gonna be confused. So what you've gotta do is, now, here's the situation. Okay, so you've got a 5-second rule or a 10-second rule? 5.
0.
Kids.
They don't have one, they just. pick it up.
Right? Okay, here's what the CDC says. The bacteria found on interior furnishings. The average homemaker, floors and carpets, harbors about 200,000 bacteria on every square inch. Is that crazy? Guess what? It's 4,000 times as bad as your toilet seat. If you dropped your cookie on a toilet seat, you can eat it. Isn't that crazy? There'd be a no second rule, but we drop it on the carpet and don't think anything about it. Why? Because we've got the skin cells, the food particles, the pollen that can feed the bacteria that's living on the floors and the carpet. Now what's next?
So, since you already have allergies, when you turn your vacuum on, do you need to be breathing in E. coli? How about staph?
These are the things that it's putting back in the air. So you gotta tell a story.
These are the things they're putting back.
This is what we're putting back in the air with the vacuum cleaner, because they all have 4 parts. See, did you explain the 4 parts?
No, you-
So you gotta explain the 4 parts so that it's a full story. Because see, what you're doing is you're doing the demo yourself. Because you've got stuff. See, all vacuum cleaners have 4 parts. You have the intake, where everything's pulled in. Then you pull it up through a nice warm motor and heat it up. And then you put it in some kind of a container. And then you've got air coming out. So this is basically what's in the air that's coming out because it came out of the carpet. See
You
the
don't
difference in the
say-
story?
So you don't say air goes in, air goes out.
Well, you do, but it's just, you've got the pieces in between it. So you've got E. coli. How much E. coli do you need if you've got allergies? See, don't make it as pointed. See, it's just a broad question thrown out. Now, staph, don't need that. Salmonella, norovirus, Kawasaki syndrome. I can't even pronounce that one. But see, now if I'm an elderly person, the thing that I'm gonna do is which can be deadly for a person who's got a compromised immune system.
So,
So let me really give you an idea of what we got going on here. Now, if I took this container off right here, in the middle, and what's your favorite, chicken or pork chop? Chicken or pork chop?
Chicken.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do, is we're gonna take a pork chop, we're gonna take some chicken, and we're gonna take and put it in here, and we're gonna shake and bake it. And you have to cook it. Would you eat it? Would you eat it? Okay, what's your favorite beverage?
Sweet tea.
Okay, we're gonna take sweet tea, we're gonna pour it in the top.
movie you going or no?
I'm not going.
No.
And I'm gonna catch it here. And then you've gotta drink it. What's your favorite one? Tea, we're gonna pour tea in the top and we're gonna catch it. Would you drink it? Okay, so now I don't understand. You wouldn't take a pork chop or chicken and put it in here. You wouldn't take your favorite beverage and filter it through here. So why would you filter all the air that your family breathes through the same thing?
That question is so common.
Because you put it in something they can relate to. Okay, so now that you know a little bit about your vacuum cleaner, what do you think of it? Knowing all of that about it, do you really want your wife turning it on again? So here's what I'm gonna do. What do you want me to do with it? Set it over here by the door? You want me to hold the door open, you throw it out?
Yeah, absolutely.
You just need to get the stuff back in order. Have you been doing the shake and bake?
Yeah.
Just don't be, that's where you need to be setting if you're gonna do anything. You really need to get on a chair.
So I used to say, so if you won't drink what comes out of the vacuum, and you won't eat what comes out of it, why do you insist on breathing in what comes out of the vacuum? But the way you said it was,
And if
Filter
you would,
your
if
family's
you would
air.
do what?
I think you said filtering your
Why do you
family's
go say
air.
all your family here for the same thing?
to the same thing.
See, that's what they've got to understand. You've got to make sure you explain it so it makes sense, because they've never heard it.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, mini vac. You got a question? Don't you?
Yeah.
You got a question? Why is all this condition? See, our mini vac's the last thing we did.
Yeah.
It's weird. It makes sense.
Yes, see, our demo, here's basically, we have, you do the water wash,
Uh-huh.
the vac kill, then we do the mattress, then we do the power nozzle,
Yeah.
then we do the attachments, and then we do the mini vac.
I guess it kind of helps drive it home.
Yes, it's like that.
Now, I'm gonna tell you why. I went to Portugal, and they had a 45-minute demo, and they had the power nozzle up front. Okay, now, not only that, I also have, I have a guy that works out here that's from Costa Rica, he's Argentine, Costa Rica. And we had one of his guys up here. He says, as soon as you put that power nozzle on the carpet, it becomes a vacuum cleaner. You've got to do your mattress first, because then it's a medical
Yeah.
device.
Yeah, I do the power nozzle last.
But have you ever watched a demo with a new person? I'm not trying to change the demo, but I'll just explain.
No.
You ever done a demo with a new person that's just like, customers over there, it's like, okay. Then all of a sudden, the power nozzle comes out in that first cloth, and now you've got their attention. Why would you put it here when you get the same thing here? Now they're paying attention to all the attachments.
Yeah. I think that what I've been telling my new people is that up front, your light show, it needs to be fast. Because I've known new people and they're like, they're boring into death. So I'm like, you've got to just read
How many times do they turn their light on?
New people, like
Hey,
3
girl.
or 4 times. But I'm like,
It needs to be 17 times.
Yeah. New people, it's painful. So I just want to
Yeah.
jump in there and.
Yeah. Okay, so now we've got 35 claws laying here. And you've got a question. Why is this condition in my house when you clean as much as you do? Right? Okay. See, vacuum cleaners, I'm going to explain why they can't clean. Because basically what they are is they're obsolete by design.
Okay, so I answer. Okay.
Okay? Because when you go out and buy a new vacuum cleaner, what do they tell you? You get the one with the biggest motor and the one with the most suction. And I pull mine out. Okay, here I've got suction. And here I've got the movement of air. Because if air doesn't move, dirt can't move. Here, put your fingers in there and make a whistle. Are you doing that?
Yeah, that whole part.
You've got to do the whistle part.
Okay.
I think I would.
You got to do the whistle part. Because see, when you come back later and there's nothing there, now feel it. Now how much cleaning would I do after I clogged it up? If you don't have the whistle part, you've lost the most powerful part of the minivan. Here, make it whistle. Okay, here, once again, I've got suction, got the movement of air. Here, make it whistle. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm turning it into a vacuum cleaner and I've got to put a bag on it. This is my baby vacuum cleaner. Kind of looks like a bag, doesn't it? Now I'm gonna hopefully find some dirt.
You're clean already.
How long have you guys sold rainbows?
I've been 5 years.
Yeah, see, 15 years ago, you just hit a couch. Now the couches have no dirt.
Yeah.
And it's like, find dirt that'll shut down a mini vac.
Yeah, I have to get a corner of a room.
Corner, it may have to be, a stairs, it may have to be on the carpet, and then you got all the fuzz, which we never had before. Find a throw pillow, do like that. So now what I've done is, okay, I've got it to pitch out. Okay, once again, I still got suction. And I break the cloth over it. Okay, now if I did the rest of the furniture, would I do any cleaning? If I did the rest of the carpet, would I do any cleaning? Okay, basically what's happened, feel it. There's no air moving. See, if air doesn't move, air can't move. So what's happened is the bag's not full, the pores are clogged. Basically, the pores clog up and it quits cleaning. Just like your air conditioner. How often do you change that filter?
Every month,
Okay, now if you waited 3 months, what would happen?
it's gonna shut down. Before that,
6 months, what would happen?
always burn out.
12 months, what would happen? You'd burn up the air conditioner.
Yeah.
See, a vacuum cleaner works the same way. It's just like the filter on your air filter on your car. Don't change it for 6 months. What's it going to do? It's going to quit running. See, now the bad thing about these new vacuum cleaners is it's got a filter down here you can't even change. They've got HEPA filters on them, so they shut down that fast. That's why you have this condition in your house. You'll never get it out. You can buy a $49 Hoover, because you also have to kill the market.
Yeah, that's it.
Just like a vac kill, you still have to kill the market. I can take a $49 Hoover, I can take an $800 Dyson, I can take a $3,000 Kirby. Guess what? They all pollute. They have to. They have dry filters. I can take a $49 Hoover, I can take a $700 Dyson, take a $3,000 Kirby. They're not going to clean because they all have dry filters, and they're going to plug up. So if you really want to get your house clean, the first thing you got to do, once again, you got to get rid of this thing again. That's got to go.
I like that, a second boot out the door. You got it out the door, but
You've got to kill it
out the door.
twice.
Yeah.
But see, one of the questions I always have is, let me ask you a question. If there's 2 things you could change about this, what would you do?
Oh my God.
It stinks, and I don't think it cleans that well anymore. It's just like if you go up against a Kirby. Now, if there's 2 things you could change on it, what would you change? How heavy it is,
Yes.
and it stinks like the dog. It's not a bad question to ask. If I walk up and I'm going up against an old Rainbow, so there's 2 things you could change about the old Rainbow, what would you change?
Too many hoses, too many
There's
attachments.
one hose.
Yeah, they're gonna give you a ton of different things. Guess what? We changed them all. Really? Here, let me show you. See, now all of a sudden you've got them in your game. But that's a question you have to ask. Make sense? What are you doing here? You're never here on the
I
daytime.
know, I didn't go.
Oh, you went to work so you could come see us? Yeah, I'm so glad. Hey, we need the sheet that has for Facebook sheet, that has all that stuff on it. Can you find me one?
The one with the instant set, remember?
How to do an instant set?
Well, it's in my office on the desk. It's somewhere in there, sure.
Okay. We're going to start backwards.
Yep.
Don't you think backwards? I do. Yeah. Right? See, I do Facebook. Why? Because I want the instant set that's a ride-along. But they're a germaphobe, and they can write me a check. Go make me copies for everybody. Make 3 more, because by the time we get there, 3 people will show up at that place. Right? Okay. See, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're working toward. And then I'll explain it. Then it'll make sense when you go sit down with CJ. See, these guys have an office in Dallas. And they're coming down to learn the little tiny things that we do that's different. What are you looking at me for?
She's learning.
She's
She's
Learning.
Aw.
She's training it.
She just wake up,
Yeah.
there's nobody home. There's nobody home. Okay, we're gonna start out with the Rainmate demo, where they want 3 of them. Because if they don't buy, you're gonna need that Rainmate demo, that Rainmate, to get that non-owner instant set. So you've got to place them in 3 places. Okay, where are you gonna need one? You're gonna need one in your bedroom, because you've got your allergies. And you're gonna need one in the kitchen, so you have cooking odors. And little Jimmy over here is gonna need one in his room. Right? So I'm gonna have 2 or 3 placed in the house. So now I've got that, and the next thing I do is to transition on how you explain Facebook. Okay, now, how I ended up out here is you get one of these, and you got your fragrance, right? And now what I wanna do is I would like to share the same opportunity with all of your Facebook friends. How about if we give them the same opportunity to get one of these and a fragrance just like you got? See, we teach it different. The reason for it is because, where's your office?
We have one indicator and we have one on Wichita.
Okay, let's think about this. If you're gonna go into South Lake, the snottiest place in Dallas.
Hey, that's what I'm from.
That's where all the snots, that's where all the snots live, right? That's where all the high dollar houses are. Oh, yeah. Okay, now you're gonna go into a $1 million home. What's the only way or only reason that they're gonna give you names? Because of what it'll do for them, not them.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons going in and telling them, you're gonna help me advertise, or I need places to go, or I'm unemployed, that shit don't work. They don't care. They don't care. But now if you're out in Decatur,
Yeah.
you're out there you're out by Bridgeport Lake,
I like me some
those
more.
hillbillies,
Yeah.
right?
They're nice.
Or out Wichita
They call me
Falls,
friends.
they don't care, you can get away with that. But see, if you teach it this way, you're okay no matter what house they get in.
Yeah.
Because we get into a lot of high dollar homes around here. So what I want to do is give your friends the same opportunity that you had. All your Facebook friends. And here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you both another fragrance. Okay? And what I'm going to do is, here's the script that we're going to use. And Mrs. Jones has already read it because she's already signed up, but he doesn't know anything about it. You've got to read it again. Okay, now pull your phones out, and I'm going to text it to you. Let me get your telephone number. Boom, 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 boom. Just get both their numbers at the same time and shoot it out to them. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take a picture with your thumbs up. Let me borrow your camera. Click. Borrow your camera. Click. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take that text and we're going to take and tag it. We're going to copy it to your Facebook. And now we've got your picture. Okay, what's next?
Post the script on there, what's on the
You've already done that.
Okay. Hit
You've already got the picture.
public.
Okay, you've already done it public. Now what's next?
Share.
No,
Test.
no, 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 no. You've got to
Oh, we
get
gotta check.
you got to get your germaphobe leads.
Oh, I thought, you checked the link already?
You can check the link.
Oh.
Are you having your guys check the link every time before
I
they
thought
send
we
it
shared
out?
it, and then it had me on there.
Yeah, I thought you commented.
So I just need to remember to share the link.
If you have them
No,
check the
You're
link.
not getting instant sets like the
Up
way
front, no.
up front you
No.
are.
No.
So that's what my people are doing, and they're really they're still getting the instant sets up front. Then after they get their instant sets, call their friends, then we post that.
Okay, because here, see, what we're doing is, we're gonna go and get some names here. Who do you know that's a germaphobe? Who do you know that's OCD? Who do you know that thinks they're dying from allergies? Okay, now what we're gonna do is, we're gonna take and put that in the comment section so that that is tagged to that person, everybody that's on this list. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that the link works.
Right.
Because if you don't check the link before you send it out, it may not work. You may have one letter out of the place and it's not gonna work. You need to make sure the link works. Okay, then the next thing we're gonna do is we've got to post it and everything. We're gonna start doing our demo. Well, because our power nozzle's up front, when we get done with the power nozzle, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna check our spreadsheet. The one that CJ was showing you. And we'll already know if we've got names halfway through the demo.
Right.
Okay, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish the demo. Then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take and compare these to my germaphobe list. Because that's the only ones I want to run. I want to lay down sales. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna compare it to that, because they've already signed up, because they're on my spreadsheet.
Right.
So I checked my spreadsheet, they're already there. Now what I'm gonna do is, let me ask you a question. Your mom is a germaphobe. What's she gonna say when she sees this condition in her house? She's gonna go nuts. When she sees a rainbow, would she love it?
Yep.
How about your aunt?
Yep,
How about your cousin?
yep.
See, they're all on this list. They're all on the spreadsheet. Okay, let me ask you a question. Which one of those could write me a check?
My aunt,
Which one could put it on a credit card?
my cousin,
Which one could have the credit to buy it? Good credit.
aunt, my cousin.
All of them, basically. Okay, now here's what I want to do. Because you want the range yet, you need 2 people. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to send out a text. Hey, give me a call. Now. Thanks. And what happens?
They call.
That goes back. Okay, now look at what we've got. We've got a germaphobe, but see, I left one thing out. See, you don't want to try to set one or have them call you unless you know what their schedule is. Is your mom and dad going to be available tonight? They home tonight? So I'll call them. How about your aunt? Is she going to be home tomorrow?
Yeah.
How about your cousin? Most people know that close of circle. They know what their schedules are. They know their kids' schedules, kind of. But see, now what I'm going to do is I've got all this information about them. Now, basically, okay, now your mom's going to call, and here's what she's going to say. What you need? You know that little air purifier you signed up for? The guy's here. He's got yours. Hold on. Let me let you talk to him. And then what are you going to say? It's real simple then. Hi, Mrs. Jones. How are you? Your daughter told me that you're a germaphobe and you got real bad allergies. I've got your rainmate sitting in my hand. I want to bring it over, set it up, show you how it works, and bring you a fragrance. Now, you and your husband are going to be home tonight at 7 o'clock? I'm not going to get a no, because I already know their schedule. Because here's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to bring it over, set it up, teach you how to clean it, teach you how to use it, show you the fragrance, and at the same time, I'm going to give you some information on the floor model. Okay, now what's your address? Okay, now Tay, tell your mom thanks.
Thanks.
Oh, you going to go with me? You want to go to mom's house? Why don't you go with me?
Yeah.
There's my ride along. But we've already got the spreadsheet. We already know who's on it. That's why you've got to go to Google.
Yeah.
You've got to go to Google. See, now what these guys do is they get up the next morning and they start out with their Google spreadsheet and then qualify it. Now, if they want to pull up the house and look at it and see what it looks like, they want to do a Zillow on it or whatever, you can take and pull them up. That's where everybody's morning should start. Because now the marketing department can set only homeowners. And if you don't want that house doesn't look good, you only want to do nice houses that don't look like, dumps. You can do what you want, but you've got plenty of leads. Then the other thing you've got to do is you've got to get everybody posting Facebook at least twice a day. We're getting ready to back up another contest. You guys got any ideas? And the neat thing about it is it's going to be for this office only. Jeff's team's not going to be involved. Tom's team's not going to be involved. It'll just be Corpus and us. So what do you guys want to do? Go back to another Astros game? Yeah, let's go. Should we do it?
That's fun.
Go in end of September? Yeah.
What?
What? Missed it.
We're going to put up another Facebook
Okay, so do
contest.
what?
Go back to the Astros game.
Oh, okay.
Do you have to?
No.
If
we just do
if you're a
it right?
slap and you're not number one, yes, you do.
Good
It
time
doesn't
to do
mean
it.
number
You gotta
one,
do it.
it's
Okay, do we do the walk-off? or
Because
do we-
dogs.
who wins?
Dogs and hamsters and
Well, see, the thing about it is, here's the difference this time.